guys, it's me Molly. I am super excited for the next couple of videos. I am planning on doing a back to school series. I know we're still a couple weeks away from the beginning of school, but I decided to go ahead and start now so you can be as prepared as possible for the first day. I thought for my first video in the back to school series, I would do a advice to freshmen video. This is kind of just like what I learned, what I would have done differently if I could do freshman year over again, and just some random pieces of advice that I think could be helpful. Being an incoming sophomore, I am fresh off of the freshman experience, so I have a lot to say, and even if you're going to be a junior or a senior or a sophomore, these tips and this advice can be helpful to all ages. Tip would be get involved, in clubs and in sports. My school offers a lot of different clubs, and whatever school you go to probably does too. So my advice would be, check what clubs your school offers ahead of time and pick 2 or 3 that really interest you and find out more information about when they start, when you can join, if you have to try out to join the club, stuff like that, so you can be really prepared and not miss out on those experiences. If you are planning on playing a sport, it is a big commitment. It's bigger than, if you just played a sport in middle school, because a lot of the practices are every day after school. Because it is such a big commitment, I would say don't play a sport just to do a sport, just because you think it'll look good on a college application, Do it because you really have an interest in it or a passion for it or really want to try something new. It's a great way to meet new people. Last year I played varsity soccer as a freshman, and not only did I get a chance to meet and connect with a lot of upperclassmen, I also became very close with the 5 other freshmen that were on my team. It was a really good experience for me, so I totally recommend trying out for a sport. Even if you don't think that you'll make varsity or even JV, there's a lot of sports offer a freshman team, so I would definitely recommend finding the sports that you're interested in, seeing what season they're played in, and contacting a coach for information about tryouts, competitiveness, when they practice, stuff like that. Just another thing about clubs and sports that's commonly, I think, misunderstood about what colleges are looking for. Colleges are more looking for a student who is really focused on 2 or 3 different extracurricular activities and really puts a lot of time and effort into it, and even gets up to a leadership role. And I think they look at that as, better than someone that's involved in 10 to 15 sports or clubs and is just putting a little bit of time into each one of those. So I would say definitely focus on a couple more than school events. Obviously, I would say go to the football games and go to the dances, homecoming, Sadie's, all the dances that your school offers. As a freshman, it's a new experience, and totally go. Don't just go because, all the upperclassmen are telling you, oh, it's so lame, blah, blah, blah. Well, they obviously know because they went, so I would definitely recommend going. Football games are always fun. Don't forget, your school offers other sports, so check out the basketball and soccer. Those were 2 that were really popular at my school. Our football team wasn't so great, so a lot of us enjoyed going to other sports as well. I would also recommend following your school's Twitter if they have one, because they can keep you updated on a lot of school events that they might be hosting, charitable events, other things that they might be doing, stuff like that you can get involved in. You can get community service or whatever. It's just always fun to get involved and stuff like that. So definitely, if your school has a Twitter, follow it so you can stay updated on all the things that your school is doing. A little bit, I want to talk about your friend groups. Coming out of middle school and into high school, your friend group is going to change probably a lot. Now, I know there is always a couple groups that, basically they stay the same. But what I've seen happen is your core group of friends is going to get smaller. You might have had 10 to 15 girls that you were always close with and that you always hung out together, and those were your friend group. What's probably going to end up happening is that friend group is going to shrink to about 4 to 5 close friends, and those are going to be the people that you lean on all the time and that you always hang out with, and those are your best friends. But in high school, there's a lot more kids. You're going to be friends with upperclassmen. You're going to be friends probably with some people still in middle school. You're going to be friends with some sophomores, and you're going to be friends with the popular kids, and you're going to talk to the not popular kids. Don't be afraid to talk to everyone. It's always nice to be friendly. While your core group of friends is probably going to shrink, the amount of friends you have is really going to grow because there's a lot more people for you to get to know and become friends with. And even though you may not be so close with all your friends, you still are going to have a lot of new friends because you're going to want to have at least a couple friends in all of your classes. Going on to schoolwork. You're probably going to have more classes than you did in middle school, which means more work. Keep a planner to keep you organized. I know you always think like, oh yeah, I'll just remember that when I get home. But if it's a small assignment that you're probably going to forget, or if it's a test that's not for another week, write it in your planner so you can stay organized and prepare for it in advance. Take notes during lectures. This is really helpful, but you also really need to listen. Like, I know for me, I would fill in all the notes, but I would zone out and I would not even listen or really hear and understand what the teacher was saying. You really need to record the notes, listen to the teacher, and understand what he or she is saying. Now, this is a lot to do, and if this is hard for you, you can always ask your teacher if you can take out your phone and record the lecture so you can listen to it later, and you can, always have it to play back, so if you don't understand a concept, you can listen to it again and again until you really understand it and understand the notes. Also, your study habits. They're probably going to need to change from middle school to high school. One of the things that's really helped me through freshman year is getting numbers from the kids in your class. Whether you want to get 4 or 5 numbers from the kids in each class or get 4 or 5 numbers from kids that are in most of your classes, whatever you want to do, form some study groups and, meet at the library a couple times a week or on the weekends. And if you miss a day of school or if you really can't focus one day in class and miss what the teacher's saying, they can fill you in. And since they probably know you better than the teacher, they can explain it in ways that will really help you understand it better. If you form a study group, it might not be with your best friends. I would suggest picking people that are really focused and can help you stay on task and are smart and can push you to do your best. Do not procrastinate. I know this is a big thing for a lot of high school kids. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors all struggle with this. Even if you do a little bit of a project each night, it'll be better than leaving the whole thing to the last minute. One of the things that helped me stop procrastinating is I would always put a little creative twist on all the project or papers or, most of the homework that I turned in, I would make it I would put a little bit of myself in it. By making it a little bit creative, it was easier to focus and stay on task, and it made me, want to get it done more, and it made it more fun to do. Stay organized. Whether you want to use binders, folders, accordions, whatever works for you, find what works for you and stick with it. I like to do a binder for each of my core classes and then folders for all of my electives. So I end up having 4 binders and 6 folders, which is not that much because the classes at my school were every other day. So I would end up taking about 2 binders and 3 folders every day. And, I know at a lot of schools, the kids don't really use their lockers. They just carry around all their stuff in their backpack. So it made it a little bit of a lighter load for me to have everything organized and the classes. Even as a freshman, you have to start planning ahead for college. And colleges like to see you taking challenging courses. Obviously, as a freshman, it's going to be a bigger adjustment, 8th grade to freshman year, than it is going to be from freshman to sophomore year or sophomore to junior. So even though you should focus on taking classes that challenge you, don't take classes that you're really going to be struggling in because it is already a big adjustment whether you take easy or hard classes. So, take classes that challenge you freshman year but aren't so hard that you're just drowning in homework because it's going to be a big adjustment. So you want to do something that you're capable of doing but will still push you. So don't take classes just because your friends are doing it. Obviously, if you guys both share common interest and want to take that as an elective, go ahead and do it. But let's say they want to do drama and you're more into art, don't just do drama because they want to. Really take advantage of all you can learn out of high school and stuff that interests you. Another tip that I would really recommend is getting the required gym classes out of the way. Whether it be, however many gym credits you need, I would suggest trying to get them all out of the way freshman year. I know most schools make you swim at least, a little bit for a gym credit. So I would suggest doing that freshman year so you don't have to do that, later on. That's really going to suck. My school offered the basic PE class in the summer, so I took it in the summer. And if your school offers that, I definitely recommend doing it. It's 2 weeks in the summer. It's not that bad, and I got the swimming out of the way, so I never have to swim in school. And I really think that's a great option, especially for freshmen. You don't want to be stuck your senior year still having to take that basic PE class and having to take it with a bunch of freshmen. Some random tips. I would say 2 very important things in high school: gum and headphones. They're not really school related, but if listening to music helps you focus while you're, taking notes out of a textbook or whatever, definitely recommend headphones. Or if you have like some time off or, whatever, headphones are always good. And then gum, you don't want to be that one girl walking around with stink braid. Always have at least 2 pencils on hand. You don't want to be that kid that's always having to ask someone for a pencil, or that kid where you don't have a pencil at the start of a test and you have to go ask a teacher, because that is humiliating. I would say 2 because pencils break easily. We all know that. Or if you run out of lead or whatever, just always have 2 on hand. This is for all my girls out there, but always carry some extra pads and tampons with you. You don't want to have an oopsie, especially as a freshman, because you're going to be hearing about it for 3 more years. Carry them around even when you're not on your period, because you always want to be able to help out that girl, in the stall next to you, or your friend that doesn't have any. So yeah, just always keep an extra stash. And I would recommend putting them in like a pencil pouch, or not a Ziploc bag, but like a baggie, so that they don't spill out of your bag when you're going to reach for something, because that is also very humiliating. Plan your outfits the night before. I know that a lot of people won't like to do this, but if you oversleep one day, or even if you just want 10 extra minutes to sleep in the morning, because yes, it does make a difference, planning your outfit the night before really helps with that. Also, it kind of motivates me to get out of bed a little bit more if I know I have a cute outfit waiting for me, and it makes me a little bit more excited for the school day. That being said, always dress comfortably. There's nothing worse than having to pull your jeans up or tug your skirt down, or always fixing your shirt, strap, whatever. That is the worst. So make sure your outfit is comfortable. However, I would recommend not wearing a sweatshirt and sweatpants every single day to school. Maybe set aside, like what I did was Fridays are going to be the days that I can dress like a hobo and do whatever I want. Or maybe you want to say like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'll dress cute, and then Tuesday, Thursday I can wear whatever I want. But yeah, definitely don't recommend sweatpants and sweatshirt every day. I know it's comfortable and you can get home and change right away, but it is still school. You still want to make yourself look at least a little bit presentable. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of the upperclassmen. Ask them if you don't know where your class is, and you can, ask them questions, because they've been through it all and they know what you're like. However, don't be like that annoying freshman. Don't be like the one that purposely does things to annoy them. Try to be cool. Don't do something that will make them hate you more than you think they do already. Classmen are not more than 3 or 4 years older than you. That's not really a huge age difference. So there's nothing really to be afraid of. I had an older brother in high school, and when I was a freshman, he was a junior. And I talked to him every day, just normally, and, it really helped me, because I realized, they're my brother's age, and I talk to him all the time, and, they're not that much older than me. I'm fine. But you can't let the upperclassmen take advantage of you. So if they're doing something suspicious, or if they peer pressure you at all, or do something that you're uncomfortable with, make sure you stay away from them, or tell someone. Really don't let them take advantage of you. Remember that you're not alone. You have a whole class of other freshmen going through the same thing as you. Chances are, with the exception of a few, your teachers are on your side. Ask them questions, they're also great people to ask if you don't know where a class is. You can ask them, or even the hall monitors. Teachers want to help you. They want to make this a good experience for you, but at the same time, they want you to succeed and they want you to do good, and they'll do that by pushing you, and they want you to learn, really. They want to educate you and prepare you for, hopefully, college. So they're trying to do that as best they can. Popularity really doesn't mean much in high school, as much as it did in middle school. I know it was way more of a big deal, like who went to what party and, who sat at what table. It really doesn't matter in high school as much. Everybody goes to a lot of parties, and you can't really keep track of it all. There's so many people. It doesn't really matter as much in high school, which I think is really nice. I know I would stay up at night stressing because I wasn't invited to this, or I wasn't going to that, or I sat at this lunch table, but it doesn't really matter in high school. I know that in high school, people don't also really care what you wear in terms of style. So if your style's kind of out there and different, don't be afraid to wear it in high school. There's so many kids, and a lot of people are wearing a lot of different things, and you can totally express yourself more in high school than you could in middle school. So if you want to wear a skirt or a dress or heels, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Chances are someone else is wearing it too. I would suggest saving money that you earn, and also getting a job, whether it be babysitting. I refereed, and I love doing that. You can umpire, caddying, whatever it is that you want to do. I totally recommend getting a job and earning some money, saving some of it, spending some of it. You're going to want it later on, especially when you get your driver's license, and if you get a car, you're going to want money for gas. Stuff like that. Find time to read books. I know it's super busy, but instead of watching TV, pick up a book and read it, because one day you won't be able to, and you'll miss it. Keep walking in the hallways. There's nothing worse than those freshmen that stand around clumped together. I know that's something that really irritates a lot of upperclassmen, so just make sure you keep walking. If you notice that a hallway is really backed up, move along somewhere else with your friends. Maybe meet in the cafeteria so you don't have to clog up the hallways. Don't be nervous, and just have fun. A lot of people say they look back on high school and they were either the 4 worst years of their life or the 4 best years of their life. You don't have to make it the best years of your life, but you can still have a lot of fun with it. And it doesn't, all your memories are not going to be good, but, they're not all going to be bad. And the bad ones, they're still experiences. I really hope this video helped all of you guys out. And if it did, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you guys later.